guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be going over how to calibrate your silhouette portrait or cameo if you have either or. And just to let you guys know, I do have a cameo or a portrait 3. So there's like some differences in terms of like how the auto blade, if you have the 2 or 3, it has the auto blade, but if you have the 1, it's pretty much like the standard cut file. And I don't know what is my computer doing. So pretty much you're just going to open up your Silhouette software, and you don't have to have like a document opened. You can have just a blank document, but it actually, I would prefer, like I would suggest to have a file open. But the only thing is, I feel like the new software that they have, it's kind of like janky a little, so I will let you guys know. So pretty much when you open up the Silhouette software, it pretty much takes you to this blank page, and then you're going to go up at the corner up here to send. And whoops, sorry, I'm using my phone to record this, so it's kind of like not as clear or not as crisp as my camera is. So yeah, anyway, so once you're in the send tab, you're going to go all the way to the bottom where the silhouette portrait or the cameo is. Then you're going to right click and then click on calibration. So this is your calibration sheet, and I feel like some people get really like confused why the green squares are not printed, but you'll see. So this is just for your reference. So pretty much you're going to print this out, and how you print this out, instead of clicking or right clicking, or not right clicking, Control P or Command P if you have the Mac. So you're going to click on print test page here, and then you're just going to send it to printer. I already printed it out, and you can either use sticker paper, or I would suggest not wasting your sticker paper. I would just print it on copy paper, or I would actually suggest thicker cardstock or something like that. But something that or thicker paper. Oh my goodness. So yeah, pretty much it just prints as like this blank document. So there is no green box, but the green box is just to let you know where to line up your blade to. So I would suggest loading this onto a mat. If you're it really depends, because the Silhouette or the Portrait 3s, you don't really need a mat if you're cutting like if you want to cut Kids Cuff stickers. Unless you're cutting like the border, you would need a mat, but for me, I don't need a mat, personally speaking, when I'm printing out or cutting out sticker sheets from matte removable paper or something like that. I can easily just stick it into the machine, and then it'll just Kids Cut, and then I just trim around it myself. So that's what's like I feel like is the best version, because if you don't, you would have to cut 2 settings, and then you have to wait until that full setting goes through, or like the cut settings goes through, and then like pretty much it just has to click again if you have the auto blade. So I like to cut everything in one setting and then just trim around it myself. But that's preference. So I know other sticker shops, like they have like 2 settings. So anyway, so I'm going to load this onto a cutting mat. So it's like varies a little, because if you use a cutting mat, like the calibration is kind of different. So I'm going to load this on a cutting mat and then be right back. And then I will show you my Silhouette portrait. So yeah. So here is my Silhouette portrait. So whoops, my hair. I apologize. So I already loaded it onto a cutting mat, and I do use an off-brand version. And then instead of using like I know some shops have like acrylic board, but I just use like my mailers, like my larger mailers, to just prop up the cutting mat, so it's not just like angling. So hopefully I can do this one-handed. So you're just going to insert it into the cutting mats, or this machine, my goodness, and then you're going to, so right here you're going to use I'm sorry, my desk is a little messy, so I apologize. So pretty much you're going to line up your blade to this quadrant here, which is this quadrant. So you can test 8 times on this page. So that's why I would suggest using like not a heavy duty like your sticker paper, because then you're just gonna waste it. So yeah. Anyway, so pretty much just line up your blade all the way to here. So you're going to use the arrow keys right here to move your blade. So this is going up and then this is going down. So we're just going to go down and just make sure. So I'm right on top of the line. So what I like to do is just move it over, and then if you can tell, whoops, I am not on top of the lines, but I'm right by the edge. So, actually, I'm going to move it up just a smidge, so not on top of it. So then you're going to, once you do that, you're going to click on Calibrate. So now it's going to register those lines, or the crosshairs. Oops. So it doesn't, like, usually once you finish cutting a sticker, it would just pop out, but it doesn't. So you're just going to have to hold it or push it out. So, actually, I might have set the thing already, but you can tell right here. So you want the line to be centered to the black line. So you can tell that it is off towards the right. So you want to move it over, and I will show you how. And then this the horizontal line looks perfect. So yeah, you can see it's kind of centered. You're not gonna get the perfect but you try your best too. Anyway, so right here you're going to, so this is the grid. So right here, this is where you move like your crosshairs. So this gray line here, it's kind of like showing you, oh, this is where it was, so you're going to have to move it over the opposite direction. So for this line here, you can tell it was towards the right, so you're going to move it to the left. So that is pretty much telling you what to do, and I already set it to 0.1 just to make some difference, because I wanted to let you guys know that this machine is pretty new. So if you have an older machine, or like a very used machine, or very well loved machine, you want to move it over. So actually this 0.10 or the negative 0.10 was perfect. So the horizontal line was perfect. So I'm just going to leave it as that. And then you're going to pretty much attempt it multiple times, and you can attempt it 8 times at least, or pretty much to calibrate it 8 times on this one page. And the struggle is real when you try to do this one-handed. Whoops. So you don't want to be on top of the line. So, whoops. One more time. Oh no. So let's try that again. So you want it both underneath the rollers, and what I make sure is that this line, like it's sitting flush to it, not on top of it. So anyway, so you're gonna click on not calibrate. You're gonna move your crosshair. So I'm gonna do this one. So you're gonna have to move your blade over, and then down. So I like to, well, I'm standing for this portion, or I like to get really close to the machine. So I make sure that I'm within that first quadrant right here. So then once you do that, you're going to click on Calibrate one more time. And then it's going to, so this is the auto blade. So it usually just clicks to the settings. Then registers. So then once you do that, you have to unload and then check it one more time. So let's see. So you can tell that this is finally centered, and I don't think you can tell from this lighting here. Actually, I think this is much better. So it is much centered. You could probably move it over just another smidge, but I don't want to do that. But I don't know. This line is off though. Like the top line. It really depends where you, so for me, since this machine is brand spanking new, it wouldn't be like the best example to show. So I don't have an older machine, so that's why. So pretty much you just want to move, like test it around. Like you have 8 opportunities to calibrate your machine. And once you do that, you're going to click, so you're not going to click calibrate, you're just going to click exit. And then pretty much you can cut your machine, or no, sorry, I got confused for a minute. So pretty much once you're done that, for some reason, every time you click on, so once you go back to the design tab, it takes you back to the page itself. But the only thing is that if you click on send one more time, it takes you back to the calibration. Before, it never really did that. So I think there's something wrong with the software. But pretty much it saves your calibration. But the only thing is that you can't really get out of it unless you close down the entire software. That's my only thing. So pretty much that's the only thing that is quite different with the software, the current software, I should say, because this is the most updated one. It's kind of, there's some bugs to it. I'm just going to be honest with you. So pretty much you're just going to right click and click calibration. There is another one called distance adjustment, but I never really use that as much. So I will play around with it, and hopefully that pretty much solved your question with how to calibrate your silhouette portrait or cameo. So if you have any, oh my goodness, if you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments down below. I'll be trying my best to answer those questions. I don't even know if that made any sense, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!